A 42-year-old man is charged with murder after he allegedly shot an 11-year-old boy who was playing the Ding Dong Ditch game on Saturday night. Gonzalo Leon Jr. is accused of fatally shooting 11-year-old Julian Guzman. Court records show that Guzman, his cousin, and some other friends were at a relative's house on Racine Street attending a birthday party. The boys got bored and decided to play the Ding Dong Ditch game around the neighborhood. This truly is a tragic story. We will keep everyone updated. Court records show that when Leon allegedly walked out to his house onto a public street, pointed a gun, and fired. Leon appeared before a judge this morning. His bail was set at $1 million. Joining us now is Harris County District Attorney Sean Teare to discuss the latest on this case. Harris County District Attorney Teare, thank you so much for joining Frank and myself today on Hello Houston. What can you tell us the latest?
Well, the latest, as you just said, is that Judge Emily DeToto granted our request for $1 million bond on this defendant, which means that he'll be in custody for a while. And now it really is just us continuing to collect evidence, getting this picture as full as we can possibly paint it before we eventually present it to a jury.
Mr. Teare, there's no question this is tragic. 11-year-old boy shot to death, 11 o'clock at night, and just playing a game. I get all that. I do, and I know prosecutors it's in their DNA to go after the people they want to go after. This was an Army veteran that shot the boy. Presumably he had legal guns. I'm guessing these guns were legal. Is there any chance that he has PTSD that would have created this kind of violence? Or will you even explore that?
Yeah, we absolutely are going to explore everything. The job now is to get, as I said, the most full picture we can possibly get of who this defendant is. So we're going to look at everything. We're going to look at his records. We're going to look at, just kind of his past and really see if we can get a reason behind that. His defense team will be doing the same. But at the end of the day, there are always mitigating circumstances around a violent crime like this. But we have a dead 11-year-old boy who was doing nothing different than,
all of us.
Thousands and thousands of us have done in the past. Yeah. Someone's got to be held accountable.
Absolutely. District Attorney Teare, can you tell us about when law enforcement found is it Mr. Leon? When they found Mr. Leon, from what I understand, he had his bags packed. He was with his wife. Can you talk to us about what that was like when law enforcement came upon him?
Well, there was somewhat of a delay in actually getting an arrest warrant obtained for this defendant because we're not going to file a case until we feel like we've developed probable cause. Once we were able to do that, we made the warrant go active. We had the collaboration of a number of agencies around our area, and they were able to locate him on the east side of town. He was not at his home, but the incident or the arrest occurred without real incident. So anything more than that is going to get into facts that I eventually want to present to a jury and let them decide both guilt and innocence and what the appropriate punishment is.
Well, $1 million bail that you asked for and was granted. That's a lot of bail. It means he's not going to get out, I suspect. And is that because you sensed in some way that he was set to flee with not at his home and with a packed bag?
Yeah, certainly a flight risk is part of what we factor in when we recommend a bail amount. Another thing that we always factor in is a continuing danger to the community. For whatever reason, if you have the capability of drawing down and shooting an 11-year-old in the back and murdering them, that's someone that I don't want in our community until the process has been able to go through all of its machinations.
Yeah. Any castle doctrine on this? That the idea that this man was defending his home.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've been asked that.
Yeah.
This is an 11-year-old child who was found without any weapons, was not taking any property, had not tried to kick in the door, as I have seen mentioned around. He was doing what kids his age do. So he was not a threat to property or to this individual. This individual just murdered him.
Well,
and
since
so
you,
the Castle Doctrine in no way applies to this.
Since you arrested him late, I'm guessing that you don't know if this individual was intoxicated or under the influence of drugs, since you got him late.
So my understanding is when officers contacted him that night, there weren't any obvious signs of intoxication. That's not, it's neither mitigating nor inculping. So it's not something that we know or will likely ever know.
Yeah.
District Attorney Teare, can you tell us a little bit about Julian Guzman's family? Do you know how they are doing?
We do as an office. We have one of the most robust and best victim assistance divisions in the country. They've reached out to the family. And one of the things that is part of our job now is to help them navigate this process and the justice system. They are the group that didn't volunteer to be here. And so we are stepping them through every bit of this, and we're going to be with them throughout it. I haven't personally talked to them because I have, as a line prosecutor, been across the table with thousands of families that have lost people. They don't need to hear from me right now. In the next couple of weeks, after the fog has at least begun to lift, I'll sit down with them and just express my condolences and let them know that I'm here for them as well. But we're going through the process, as we do in all of these cases, to make sure that they're looked after and informed.
I'm not a prosecutor, so I don't know the answer to this question. Do you know yet if you'll ask for the death penalty, or is that something that you wait until there's a person convicted?
So we always wait until we have all the evidence before I make that ultimate decision. But in this case, because of the age of the victim, he was 11. The death penalty is not a possibility. He can be and will likely be charged with capital murder before we go to trial, but it is not a death penalty eligible case.
Why is that?
The legislature, when they wrote the laws, if it is a child under the age of 10, you're eligible for the death penalty. Between 10 and 15, it is a life without parole punishment.
Interesting.
District Attorney Teare, can you tell us what are the next steps? What can we expect next?
So we've sped it up to make sure that we have the individual in custody, and now the investigation has to slow. We slow it to a crawl. We work through the ballistics evidence. We canvass the entire neighborhood. We want to paint the picture from both the defendant and the victims throughout the entire day. We want to know everything about everyone involved, and that takes time. We've got physical evidence to go through. We've got testimonial evidence to go through. So the next step is within about 90 days, we're going to present this case to a grand jury. We're going to ask them to return an indictment, which really is the next step. And then we'll likely begin to see what kind of time frame we're looking for a trial. In all likelihood, it will be well into the next year before we get to present this case to a jury.
Wow. Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Always is, it seems like.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. You're so kind to join us today. We really appreciate it. We haven't seen you here before, so please come back anytime.
I would love to come anytime and talk to Frank Billingsley, who I spent my youth watching on the weather. So
you can come talk to me too.
For having me.
I know. My youth disappeared really quickly. I don't know what happened to it.
Harris County District Attorney Sean Teare, again, thank you for joining us on Hello Houston.
Thank you, guys.